Hey guys, it's Wyatt here again talking about someone who is becoming quickly my favorite Liberal MP, and that, of course, is the Liberal Party House Leader, Karina Gould. I don't know what about her has caused this, but for some reason she keeps popping up in my social media feeds. I've only responded to her a couple of times on Twitter, but I guess they realized that I would have a deep and abiding affection for the very stilted, artificial, almost CGI-like manner that she talks to Canadians, because she has become my perfect bad example of how politicians should speak when serving in their official capacity. Again, as the House leader, you're usually supposed to be much more buttoned down, professional, trying to make it seem like your government is, very competent, and very trustworthy, managerial in a certain sense. But for some reason, Karina Gould has taken the tact of speaking to Canadians like everyone is five and she is their kindergarten teacher. I don't know why. It is the least compelling thing you could possibly do. So, for our strategic political takeaway of the day, never do this. I know I said this last time I made a video on her, but I'm here to reiterate, never do this ever. Please do not. You will never succeed as a politician. You might get elected because you're a good networker inside of a party, but you will never be successful in office. You will not have a good legacy, because overall, people do not like being talked to as if they do not understand the meaning of basic words. And trust me, this is not like an embarrassing clip that Karina generated, but she didn't post it. She posts this stuff. Look, it's on her own X account. For some reason, she thought this was a big win. And I'll just quickly cut to it right now. But even if you're a liberal voter, NDP voter, conservative bloc, green, if you listen to her speaking like this, are you more compelled to vote for the liberals, or are you sort of thinking, yeah, I understand that you guys are doing things, Karina, but you don't have to speak to me like I'm 2 years old and don't understand what words mean. It's quite ridiculous. Anyways, here's the clip.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Look, we are very proud of the record that we have delivering $10 a day childcare for families across this country, delivering dental care for low and moderate income children and seniors throughout this country, when we are delivering a sustainable future for Canadians across this country. Madam Speaker, this government is here every day fighting for Canadians, and we are happy to work with any party in this House that wants to support Canadian families, Canadian workers, and the future of this country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You can even tell the Liberal MPs sitting behind her are not exactly on board with this rhetorical strategy of Karina. They are very tight-lipped behind her and kind of give her a very limp applause after she's done. I could even tell some of them were kind of looking away from her. Maybe they were just doing work. I would like to think that they were just very heavily cringing at her tone in speaking to Canadians. Because again, whenever you're speaking in Parliament, it doesn't matter if you're trying to direct your comments as a jab at your opposition. You're always speaking to Canadians because you are in the Canadian People's House. So you should conduct yourself as if you are speaking to Canadians as an entire population. And I believe that's what Karina thinks she's doing. At the same time, she is talking to nobody who has a reading level above the age of 7. So I don't know why she speaks in this manner, because it just makes everyone feel patronized. And even just the way she has to use hand actions. We're giving everyone $10 a day childcare, and we're giving dental care to, and let me just quickly clarify, the Liberals are basically giving dental care to nobody, because it's such a tiny cross-section of people who can qualify. Nobody's going to be able to access it at all. You have to be 87 years plus in order to access the healthcare if you're a senior. So it's like you have to be 15 years older than what a senior is typically considered to be, probably a little bit older than that, in order to access any of these benefits whatsoever. Completely ridiculous. And even if you're a lower income child, I believe that the income bracket you have to be in and a bunch of other qualifications make it just a ridiculously complicated service to access. And if you don't access it, you're still paying for these services in terms of the inflation it has on prices, as well as the extra taxes that you are owed, that you owe the government, I suppose. Every service pretty much ends up just being a tax on poor people, because they usually are the people who have the least amount of time to actually go and work through the bureaucracy in order to gain these benefits, but they are still paying for the benefits anyways. But to kind of wrap it up here, because I don't want to take too long on these videos, just with Karina Gould and just people who speak like her in government, and it's not just Liberals, NDP, there's probably been Conservatives who speak like this, the Bloc, the Greens. the thing is that we have to get past this dumbing down era of Canadian politics, where as if Canadians are scared of detail, as if we are scared of nuance. It always is just kind of positive vibe politics. Either things are like you always have to be hyper positive all the time. Don't say anything rude, just be positive. Or if your opposition says something, be absolutely offended that they are somehow invading your positive vibe space. It's so hard to watch CPAC these days because not only does nobody ask questions in question period, but just even people's statements seem to be just this patronizing, low effort way of saying, I'm on your side, never actually explaining what they're doing, how it's going to be affecting you in a positive manner, and how the costs that these sort of programs that taxpayers are incurring from these programs are going to be outweighed by the benefits. No, thinking about that's not positive. You got to think about how we're giving you $10 a day childcare, which costs more than $10 a day since we all have to pay for it, and you have to pay an extra $10 to access it. It actually costs way more when you think about all the bureaucracy entailed in actually delivering the program, but whatever. Oh, I'm not going to wrap it up now. Wait, I forgot. I wanted to talk about Karina Gould's chances of getting reelected. So if you were ever wondering if speaking like Karina Gould is good for your political prospects as a politician, just check out her 338 projection numbers that are showing that she is going to get wiped out by the Conservatives in the next election in her riding of Burlington. Obviously, a lot of this does have to do with the fact that Justin Trudeau is an awful prime minister and nobody wants him in office anymore. So a lot of the blame would have to go on Trudeau for Karina Gould losing. Also, she is doing herself zero favors by not connecting with anyone on a general human level, treating everyone like they're her students in a classroom. It's not compelling. And again, all this is just trying to cover up the fact these sort of positive vibes the Liberals are trying to project is trying to cover up the fact that all their policies are failing. So they're just trying to happy talk their way past the graveyard here. Anyways, that's it for me today. You can donate to my legal fundraiser linked in the description of this video below. I'm being sued by a billionaire, completely ridiculous slap suit, just trying to shut me up because they don't want details of things that TNT wrote about coming out. So they tried to sue us because they assumed we could pay for the lawsuit. We have, and we are currently beating them. It's cost me $25,000, but it looks like we will easily triumph at the end of the day based on the facts of this case. And other than that, I am also running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. So if you live in this part of Calgary, make sure to buy a Conservative Party membership and vote for me for the party nomination out here. It's basically all of West Calgary. You can go look up on Google what the riding looks like based on the fact that if I get more than 338 views on this video, guaranteed a few of you do live in the riding, so make sure you know which riding you live in federally. Even if you don't live in Calgary Signal Hill, make sure you know the name of your riding because it's very important to being able to engage politically when nominations come up, that you know what riding you're in and you can kind of follow the local news having to do with that area. So other than that, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll have another video coming out very soon.